A violent storm raged over Willow Creek that fateful night. Thunder shattered the silence as dark, ominous clouds rolled across the sky, unleashing torrents of rain upon the small town. In a modest two-story home on the edge of Maple Street, nature's fury played out while inside a very different scene was unfolding. 5-year-old Daniel, affectionately known as Danny by his family, sat cross-legged on the living room floor near the front door. Far from being frightened, Danny was mesmerized by the tempest outside. Each flash of lightning illuminated his round, inquisitive face, and his eyes sparkled with wonder as he counted aloud 1, 2, 3, just as his father had taught him. The booming thunder which followed each burst of light did not incite fear in him. Instead, it filled him with a sense of awe and excitement. In the warm kitchen adjacent to the living room, Danny's mother, Maya, kept a vigilant eye on him. Her long, dark hair, casually tied in a messy bun, framed a face etched with worry. With her apron still stained from preparing dinner, she called out, "Danny, sweetie, come away from the door." Her tone mixed care with urgency as she fretted over the little boy's proximity to the storm. "Dinner's almost ready, and I don't want you sitting by the door during this wild storm." Yet even as she spoke, Danny's attention remained captivated by the interplay of light and shadow outside. "But Mom, I love watching the rain," he insisted, his voice carrying both joy and determination. His father, Noah, who was busy in the kitchen chopping vegetables with practiced precision, offered reassurance as the rhythmic tapping of the knife against the cutting board merged with the natural percussion of raindrops. "It's safe as long as you're inside, son," he said, his voice steady and comforting. As the storm's intensity increased, a new, mysterious sound broke through the cacophony of rain and thunder, a soft, persistent scratching at the front door. At first it was nearly lost in the tempest, a mere murmur beneath nature's fury. But soon it grew insistent. Danny, his small hand pressed against the cold glass of the door, strained to catch every nuance of the sound. Then, amidst a brief lull in the clamour, a gentle whimper emerged. His eyes widened, and with an excited gasp, he cried out, "Mom! Dad! There's someone outside." His voice, trembling with both trepidation and wonder, filled the room. Noah, alarmed by Danny's exclamation, set his vegetables aside and approached the door with cautious steps. Maya hurried into the living room, her maternal instincts overriding all else. "Danny, get away from the door," she urged, her voice firm yet laced with concern. But Danny's attention was fixed on the unfolding mystery. Every flash of lightning briefly cleared the rain from the windows, revealing shapes in the gloom, first a large silhouette, and then several smaller ones huddled behind it. When Noah finally switched on the porch light for a better look, the truth materialized. Standing in the downpour was a soaked German shepherd. Clinging to her with protective determination were 3 tiny puppies, barely visible in the night's darkness. The mother dog's eyes shone with an unexpected intelligence and an unmistakable plea for help. "Look, Mom, they're cold and wet," Danny pleaded, tugging at Maya's hand with earnest insistence. Although Maya's initial reaction was to worry about the risks of letting a stray into their home, Noah's heart softened at the sight of the desperate animal. "Let's bring them into the mudroom until the storm passes," he proposed, his tone gentle and pragmatic. Reluctantly, Maya agreed. Together they gathered old towels and cleared a small space adjacent to the back door, a temporary sanctuary for these unexpected guests. The German shepherd, hesitant at first, eventually stepped forward as if testing the safety of her new surroundings. With a tentative glance back at her puppies, she led them across the threshold. Once inside, she shook off the rain, droplets sparkling like tiny jewels in the dim light. Noah couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of trying to keep the entire house dry while Danny's eyes shone with wonder and relief. In that moment, the storm outside was gradually eclipsed by a new unfolding drama of compassion and mystery. Over the course of a quiet dinner that evening, the family huddled together, their conversation laced with both relief and unspoken questions. Danny's gaze wandered back to the corner where the new guests rested. "I saw them clearly," he insisted, his tone both insistent and tender. "I saw the big one and the little ones, and I even gave them names in my head." Noah and Maya exchanged a glance that held both amusement and worry. They had recently moved to Willow Creek, a place that promised tranquility, yet now it seemed fate had other plans. While Maya's protective nature flared in the face of the unknown, Noah found himself wondering if the arrival of the stray was more than a mere accident. That night, as the rain pounded relentlessly against the windows and the wind howled through the gaps in the doorframe, Danny lay in bed with dreams of his brave new friend. He could not shake the memory of the mother dog's soulful eyes or the tender whimpers of her puppies. Somewhere in the back of his mind, a tiny seed of intuition had been planted, a feeling that this animal had chosen their home for a reason. Outside, the storm continued its symphony, but inside, an invisible bond was forming between a family and a creature in desperate need of shelter. Morning broke gently with a soft drizzle and slivers of sunlight that pierced the lingering gloom. Danny awoke before anyone else, his heart still fluttering from the previous night's events. In his dinosaur pajamas, and with uncontainable excitement, he raced downstairs. "Luna, come here," he whispered, using the name he had already decided upon for the magnificent German Shepherd. To his delight, Luna emerged from the mudroom, her wet fur glistening in the morning light, and she was accompanied by her 3 small puppies. Their presence transformed the atmosphere of the home, a mixture of relief, wonder, and a deep, inexplicable connection. Noah explained that they would contact the local animal shelter to determine if Luna belonged to someone. "They'll scan her for a microchip," he reassured Danny, even as the little boy's mind raced with possibilities. But for Danny, the logic was simple. Luna had chosen their home. "She came to us for a reason," he murmured, his voice filled with conviction that belied his young age. Maya, ever cautious, reminded him, "We can't just keep stray dogs forever, but if no one claims her, we might have to foster them until a proper home is found." Yet Danny's expression fell at the thought of losing Luna. "No, she chose us," he insisted softly, as if in a sacred promise. That afternoon, the family, together with Luna and her puppies, ventured to the local animal shelter. They piled into Noah's car, and with Luna resting calmly on a makeshift bed of blankets in the back, they set off. At the shelter, they were greeted by Susan, a warm and attentive receptionist. After a thorough check and a scan for a microchip, it was confirmed that Luna was not registered. Although Susan noted that Luna appeared well cared for and of pure breed, the absence of any identification meant that she was, by all accounts, a stray. As the shelter processed their information, a tense encounter arose when a man in his early 30s entered the building. He claimed he was searching for his missing German Shepherd, a dog he insisted had been taken from him during the storm. His story, however, did not match what Noah and Danny knew. Luna's reaction was immediate and unmistakable. She emitted a low, steady growl, positioning herself between Danny and the intruder. Despite the man's attempts to explain his version of events, his tone grew increasingly hostile, and his insistence that the dog was his only added to the confusion. Noah's protective instincts surged as he gently but firmly guided the family away from the situation. "We need to get out of here while he's distracted," he said, his tone laced with urgency. The atmosphere in the shelter turned chilly, and the tension was palpable. Outside, the rain had lessened to a soft drizzle. But the memory of that confrontation would linger in the hearts of the Morgans. Back in the safety of their car, Noah sent a terse text message to Maya. "No chip. Fostering approved. Strange man claiming to be looking for a German shepherd. But he didn't mention puppies." Luna reacted badly. In that moment, the family began to suspect that Luna's arrival was not a random occurrence, but part of a larger, mysterious puzzle. In the days that followed, life at the Morgan household took on a new rhythm. Danny quickly assumed the role of the family's dog watcher, following Luna's every move with an intensity that was as endearing as it was resolute. He watched over Luna and her playful puppies with a care that seemed to speak of ancient, unspoken bonds between a child and his guardian. Noah and Maya, though still cautious about the unresolved issues surrounding Luna's identity, found solace in her calm presence. Yet beneath the surface, hints of a deeper mystery began to emerge. Noah recalled that Luna had, on several occasions, looked at him with an expression that hinted at memories of a past far more complicated than that of a mere stray. It was as if she carried a secret that could change everything they thought they knew about her. One evening, as the family gathered for a quiet dinner, Danny's voice broke the usual calm. "Luna came to us like the moon breaking through clouds," he declared, his eyes burning with certainty. His words, though simple, carried the weight of intuition beyond his years. Noah exchanged a look with Maya, a silent communication of shared wonder and apprehension. Could it be that Luna was not just a lost pet, but a guardian sent to them for a very specific purpose? The idea was as strange as it was compelling, and it lingered in the air long after the dishes were cleared. As the investigation progressed, federal authorities became involved. Noah received an unexpected call from the animal shelter, informing him that Luna lacked any form of identification and that further investigation was warranted. Soon after, agents from the local FBI arrived at the Morgans' home, their presence lending an air of gravity to the unfolding mystery. They explained that they were looking into a case involving a missing army consultant named Jacob Harlow, a man who had vanished several months earlier while investigating misconduct within a private military contractor known as Sentinel Security. Details were scarce at first, but slowly the pieces began to align. Luna's impeccable manners, her almost military bearing despite her status as a stray, and the strange encounter with the hostile man all hinted at a past far removed from the life of an ordinary pet. Federal agents revealed that Luna had once belonged to Jacob Harlow, a former Army Ranger known for his work with military working dogs. According to the investigation, Jacob had been gathering critical evidence of illegal arms sales, contract violations, and financial fraud orchestrated by a powerful figure named Victor Reeves, who headed security at Sentinel Security. In a dramatic twist of fate, Luna had somehow escaped with a small metal box containing military identification, a flash drive loaded with incriminating documents, and a set of mysterious coordinates. The box had been hidden near a remote cabin, and Luna had guarded it with an almost supernatural determination ever since. It soon became clear that Luna's journey was intertwined with events far more significant than anyone had anticipated. This revelation cast the entire encounter in a new light. Danny, whose innocent intuition had always told him that Luna had chosen their home for a reason, now felt a deeper certainty. "She came to us to protect something important," he whispered, almost to himself, as he stroked Luna's damp fur. Maya and Noah listened intently, their hearts heavy with both worry and awe. They began to see Luna not simply as a stray in need of shelter, but as a guardian with a mission that was tied to the fate of a missing man and a vast conspiracy involving corruption and greed. Tension escalated one chilly afternoon when the mysterious stranger from the shelter reappeared near the Morgan residence. Dressed in a rain-spattered jacket and exuding a cold, calculating demeanor, the man identified himself as Victor Reeves. In a low, measured voice, he insisted that Luna, whom he now referred to as Shadow, was rightfully his property. "Give me the dog and the evidence," he demanded, his tone as sharp as the knife he brandished, "and all of this will end peacefully." Luna's reaction was immediate and fierce. Despite the evident injuries she carried, a limp and a scarred side from past encounters, she positioned herself squarely between Victor and the family. Danny's small voice broke through the tension. "You heard her bark. That's why she ran away." Noah's protective instincts surged as he stepped forward, trying to defuse the situation, while Maya's eyes brimmed with terror and determination. The confrontation escalated rapidly. Victor's words, delivered in a deceptively calm manner, were laced with threats. As he advanced, Luna's growl deepened, a low rumble that spoke of both loyalty and defiance. In the chaos that ensued, Noah managed to grab a fallen branch and shouted, "You need to leave now." Maya urged, "Call the police if he comes near again." Amid the escalating tension, Victor muttered darkly, before retreating into the darkened woods, leaving the Morgan family shaken and more convinced than ever that Luna was not an ordinary stray. In the days following that harrowing encounter, federal agents maintained a vigilant presence around the Morgan home. The family was temporarily relocated to a secure location as authorities pieced together the intricate puzzle. FBI agents, along with local law enforcement, interviewed the family and examined the evidence that Luna had so faithfully guarded. Slowly, the story of Luna's true origins came to light. She had been Jacob Harlow's military working dog, a loyal partner trained for protection and reconnaissance. When Jacob disappeared amid his investigation, Luna had instinctively escaped, carrying with her the crucial evidence he had managed to collect. This evidence, concealed in a small metal box, was now central to an unfolding investigation into the corrupt activities of Sentinel Security and its chief enforcer, Victor Reeves. Despite the gravity of these revelations, the Morgan household gradually began to settle into a new normal. Danny assumed the role of Luna's devoted guardian, with an intensity that belied his tender age, watching over her and her playful puppies with unwavering dedication. Noah and Maya, though still burdened by worry, found comfort in the quiet heroism that Luna embodied. Her calm presence and unyielding loyalty transformed the home into a sanctuary, a place where, despite the storm of corruption and danger swirling beyond their doorstep, love and trust prevailed. One cool evening, as twilight descended and the remnants of the storm whispered through the trees, the family gathered around the dining table to share a modest meal. Danny's eyes kept drifting to the window, half expecting to see Luna patrolling the yard, her posture vigilant and protective. Noah spoke in hushed tones about the FBI's progress in tracking down Victor Reeves, while Maya's voice was soft but resolute. "Luna chose our home when she needed help," she said, "and that means something very important. We must honor that trust." Danny listened intently, his heart swelling with the belief that Luna was more than just a stray. She was a guardian with a sacred mission. That night, as the family prepared for bed, Danny insisted on sleeping in the living room beside a pile of blankets, unwilling to be separated from his brave friend. Noah and Maya secured every door and window, their actions measured but tinged with anxiety. In the quiet darkness, As the gentle hum of a distant patrol car provided a faint reassurance, Danny whispered into the silence, "Please come back, Luna. We need you." It was a plea that encapsulated the unspoken bond between the boy and the dog, a promise that no matter what lay ahead, they would face it together. In the early hours of the next morning, a phone call jolted the family from their restless sleep. Agent Lawson's urgent voice pierced the quiet as she informed Noah that a suspicious figure had been spotted near their home. With hearts pounding and adrenaline surging, Noah quickly gathered Maya and Danny. "We need to get to a secure location. Immediately," he said, his voice steady, despite the underlying fear. As they packed a few essential items, Danny's small voice trembled with worry. "But what about Luna? She's our guardian. She'll protect us." Noah reassured him. "Luna is with Jacob now. We'll visit them soon, and we'll never forget that she chose us." With heavy hearts but determined resolve, the family followed instructions from the agents and left their home under the watchful eyes of federal law enforcement. For several days, the Morgans lived in a temporary safe house, where agents continued to monitor their property and investigate the criminal network tied to Sentinel security. During this period, the threads of the mystery wound ever tighter around Luna's origins. Federal agents confirmed that the evidence Luna had guarded, the metal box containing military identification, a flash drive with incriminating documents, and the coordinates, pointed to none other than Jacob Harlow, whose disappearance had sparked the investigation. Luna's uncanny ability to sense danger and her fierce loyalty had, in fact, saved the day more than once. It became clear that her actions were driven by a mission instilled in her by Jacob, to protect the evidence at all costs and to find a safe haven where she could carry out that duty. When the family was finally allowed to return home, it was with the knowledge that their lives had been irrevocably changed. Back in their once familiar house, the Morgans found solace in routine even as the lingering threat of Victor Reeves and the corruption behind Sentinel security loomed in the background. Danny resumed his role as Luna's guardian with renewed determination. Every morning he would rush to the window, scanning the horizon for any sign of his heroic friend. Noah and Maya, though still cautious, began to see Luna not merely as a stray in need of shelter, but as a symbol of hope, a living testament to the idea that sometimes the most unexpected visitors choose our lives for a very special reason. In the weeks that followed, federal agents made significant progress in their investigation. A breakthrough came when a remote cabin, registered to one of Sentinel's shell companies, was identified as a possible hub for illicit activities. A tactical team, led by Agent Lawson and accompanied by experienced FBI agents, descended upon the isolated cabin. Luna's instincts once again proved invaluable. Under the guidance of her handlers, she led the agents through dense woods to a dilapidated shed behind the main building. There, after frantic digging under Luna's watchful supervision, a hidden metal box was uncovered. The box, weathered yet unmistakably significant, contained further evidence that would implicate Victor Reeves in illegal arms sales, contract violations, and financial fraud. The raid at the cabin was not without peril, as the agents secured the evidence and questioned the remnants of the criminal network. Luna found herself at the center of yet another confrontation. In a tense standoff, Victor Reeves reappeared, desperate to reclaim what he believed was his property. His menacing demands were met with the unwavering courage of Luna, who positioned herself between the hostile man and the agents. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's threats escalated into violence. Luna, though injured by a stray bullet that grazed her shoulder, fought with every ounce of her strength. Her ferocity and determination forced Victor to retreat, and the agents swiftly took him into custody. Back at the Morgan household, The family gathered in the living room as federal agents briefed them on the events. Although the ordeal had left scars, both physical and emotional, there was also a growing sense of pride and unity. Danny, whose eyes shone with admiration, declared, "Luna is our hero. She saved us again." Maya and Noah exchanged relieved smiles, their earlier fears slowly giving way to hope. Even as the investigation into Sentinel security continued and whispers of a trial against Victor Reeves spread through the community, the Morgans' focus remained on the bond they had forged with Luna. In a moving ceremony held several weeks later in the backyard, the family and federal agents came together to honor Luna's extraordinary service. Under a sky streaked with the soft hues of a setting sun, a special collar adorned with a medal was presented to her. The medal recognized Luna's exceptional courage, loyalty, and the unwavering dedication with which she had safeguarded the evidence and protected her new family. Danny, his face alight with pride, whispered, "I told you she was special." Noah and Maya, too, were overcome with emotion as they realized that the once stray dog had become an inseparable part of their lives. Jacob Harlow, the missing army consultant whose fate had remained shrouded in mystery, eventually emerged from the shadows of his ordeal. Now recovering in a rehabilitation facility under close watch by federal authorities, he was reunited with Luna. The reunion was deeply moving. Luna, who had safeguarded the crucial evidence, now returned to her original handler, albeit with an unspoken understanding that her true home was with the Morgans. In a private hospital room filled with quiet conversation and tender gestures, Jacob acknowledged the profound bond he had shared with Luna. "She was not just my working dog," he said softly. "She was my friend, my protector, and now I see that she has chosen your family as her new home." The sentiment resonated with everyone present, affirming that Luna's journey was about more than duty. It was about belonging and trust. In the aftermath of these life-altering events, the Morgan household slowly began to reclaim a sense of normalcy. Luna's puppies grew up quickly under her nurturing care, each one displaying a unique personality that endeared them to everyone who met them. Danny, ever the compassionate caretaker, took on the responsibility of feeding, walking, and playing with the young pups. Noah and Maya, while still vigilant of the lingering threat from Victor Reeves, found comfort in the daily routines that gradually restored order to their home. The FBI's investigation into Sentinel security and the subsequent trial against Victor Reeves continued to dominate headlines, yet for the Morgans, the most significant development was the transformation of Luna from a stray in need of shelter to a beloved guardian whose loyalty had saved them time and again. One crisp autumn evening, as fireflies danced in the twilight and the chill of the day began to wane, the Morgan family gathered on their porch to share a quiet moment together. With Luna lying contentedly at Danny's feet and the puppies playfully scampering nearby, Noah and Maya exchanged a glance filled with both relief and cautious optimism. "Luna chose our home when she needed help," Maya murmured softly, her voice imbued with quiet conviction. "That means something very important. We have to honor that trust." Danny, his eyes wide with the innocence and wisdom of youth, added, "She's always watching over us, protecting us, even when the world outside is dark and scary." In that moment, with the soft hum of nature around them and the distant sound of a patrol car offering a reminder of ongoing vigilance, the family understood that their lives had been irrevocably changed. Luna's journey, from the stormy night when she first appeared at their door to her role as a guardian against a dangerous criminal network, had woven an unbreakable bond between human and dog. The lessons she had imparted were clear. True, courage lies not in facing danger alone, but in knowing when to seek help, in offering compassion, and in forging connections that transcend the boundaries of species and circumstance. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the legacy of that fateful storm continued to unfold. The trial of Victor Reeves and the dismantling of Sentinel security made national headlines. But amid the media frenzy and the legal battles, the Morgan family found solace in the everyday moments of kindness and loyalty. Danny's unwavering faith in Luna, his tireless care for her puppies, and the gentle strength of Noah and Maya served as reminders that even in the darkest of times, hope and love can shine through. On a cool winter morning, when frost painted delicate patterns on the windows and the air carried the promise of a new beginning, the Morgan family once again gathered around the dining table. This time, the conversation turned to the future. "We've been through so much," Noah said quietly, "but one thing is certain. Luna is our family now." Maya nodded, her eyes soft with both sorrow and gratitude. Danny, his voice barely above a whisper, declared, "She'll always be our hero, no matter what she chose us, and we'll always be here for her." The words hung in the air like a sacred vow, sealing the bond that had grown from a single act of desperate scratching at a stormy door. In the months that followed, the Morgan household settled into a gentle rhythm. Luna, though retired from her military duties, maintained an air of dignified vigilance, occasionally patrolling the perimeter of the yard with a knowing look in her eyes. Her puppies, now more lively and spirited each day, frolicked in the garden and learned the basics, commands that Danny patiently taught them. Noah and Maya, while remaining mindful of the lingering threats from Victor Reeves and the corrupt network he represented, found strength in the unity that had blossomed in the wake of adversity. The story of Luna and the Morgan family became a legend in Willow Creek, a tale whispered between neighbors, recounted by local reporters, and remembered by federal agents who had witnessed its most dramatic moments. It was a story of a stormy night, of unexpected heroes with four paws, and of the extraordinary bond between a child and a dog who had chosen to change the course of their lives. For Danny, every time he looked at Luna's calm, intelligent eyes, he was reminded that sometimes the most important thing in life is to open the door when someone in need knocks. And so, as another storm approached on the horizon, its distant rumble a reminder of nature's eternal power, Luna remained unfazed. She lay peacefully under the soft glow of a fading sunset, secure in the knowledge that her family, both human and canine, would face whatever challenges came next together. The legacy of that night, of courage, loyalty, and the profound miracle of connection would live on in every heart that remembered the story of the German shepherd with 3 puppies who once begged a baby to open the door. In the end, it was not just a story of survival against the odds, but a testament to the truth that when hearts come together, even the darkest nights can give way to the brightest dawns. The Morgan family, forever changed by the arrival of Luna and her puppies, knew that they had found something truly extraordinary, a bond that transcended circumstance, a commitment to stand by one another, and a living symbol of hope, embodied in the form of a brave dog who had, against all odds, chosen them as her own. Thanks for being here. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. And if you enjoyed this story, hit like and subscribe for more inspiring content.